Hello, I am Max Otto Lorenz, an American economist and statistician. My Lorenz curve model I presented in 1905 is a way of depicting income distribution and income inequality in a society. It shows the various percentages of income received by different cumulative proportions of the population from the bottom to the top. Italian statistician Corrado Gini in 1914 identified the relationship between my Lorenz diagram and his own Gini coefficient measure. But remember, most importantly, this graph was named after me, not Gini. So here are the concepts. Remember, market outcomes can result in income inequality. First, let's label the y-axis. Most of the time, this is labeled percentage of income, but sometimes it is labeled percentage of wealth. Income is received through earned income such as wages, salaries, tips, or commissions, plus unearned income such as interest on the savings account, dividends from stock, or interest from bonds. Wealth, though, is the difference between the total value of assets that are owned minus the total value of liabilities which are owed. On the x-axis is the percentage of the population based upon quintiles, which means 5 equal groups of the population. Dividing 100% by 5, you get 20%. If there is an equal distribution of income, then the bottom 20% of the population earns 20% of the income. The first quintile represents the first 20% of the population who receives a total of 20% of the income. The second quintile, or the next 20% of the population, represents a total of 40% of the population who receives an additional 20% of income for a total of 40% of all income. The same is true for the third, fourth, and fifth quintile. Until total income is represented at 100% of the population receiving 100% of the income. Connecting the dots inside the graph gives you a 45-degree line which represents an equal distribution of income. When you add the Lorenz curve to this graph, this shows the unequal distribution of income. Analyzing the table of the population quintiles relative to the percentage of income earned in the U.S. in 2020, you can plot 5 dots to draw the Lorenz curve which shows the unequal distribution of income in the U.S. In 2020, the lowest quintile, representing those with income below $27,000 per year, was 3%. The second quintile, representing those with income below $52,000 and above $27,000, was 8.1%, meaning the income of the bottom 40% equaled 11.1% of overall income. The third quintile, representing those with income below $85,000 and above $52,000, was 14%, meaning the income of the bottom 60% equaled 25.1% of overall income. The fourth quintile, representing those with income below $141,000 and above $85,000, was 22.6%, meaning the income of the bottom 80% equaled 47.7% of overall income. The top fifth quintile, representing those with income above $141,000, was 52.3%. This indicates the overall income of 100%, or all 5 quintiles combined. You can now compare the difference between the equal distribution of income and the unequal distribution of income. By shading in the entire area labeled A between these two lines, you can observe the degree of income or wealth inequality, which is called the Gini coefficient.
Hello, I'm Italian statistician Corrado Gini, who put my own spin on the Lorenz curve with the Gini coefficient interpretation. To calculate the Gini coefficient is a fairly easy formula. You take area A and divide it by area A plus B. This calculation gives you the Gini coefficient. If the Gini coefficient is equal to 0, this means there is complete income equality, or equal distribution of income or wealth. The closer the Gini coefficient is to equaling 0, the more equal the distribution of income or wealth. Conversely, if the Gini coefficient is equal to 1, this means one individual owns all of the income, which is a completely unequal distribution of income or wealth. You can use this information to draw a comparison among different countries' distribution of income or wealth. Remember, income levels and poverty rates vary greatly both across and within groups based upon age, gender, ethnicity, demographics, and location. Sources of income and wealth inequality include differences in tax structures, progressive and regressive tax structures, human capital, social capital, inheritance, effects of discrimination, access to financial markets, employment, education, mobility, and bargaining power within economic and social units, such as firms, labor unions, and families. Each factor of production receives the value of its marginal product, which can contribute to income inequality. As a statistician, it was always my dream to statistically represent and compare the various income equalities and inequalities among global regions. I believe Lorenz and myself achieved this. You can think of it as the dream of Gini.